Alright, so let's get one thing straight. This is gonna be an awful video because not only do I not have a good setup, but, I don't know what I'm doing. So, we're just gonna hope for the best and yeah, let's get started. So the first question asks, explain why the solutions of this quadratic equation are also the x-intercepts of this function. Now, normally that doesn't mean anything to me because I know me right now, and that doesn't mean anything. So I'm just gonna put it into my own words, and that's just being like, okay, so you see that right there? That's an x. That's an x. Okay. Now, why are the x's also the solutions to the equation? Okay, so that's really meaning just like what makes up the equation. So as you see right here, 0 equals x minus 4 times x plus 6, right? So the missing piece or the solution to this would be finding x, right? Which is same for here. But in case you've forgotten, f of x equals y, right? Right? And then y, as Mr. Brand has said before, and I'm pretty sure every other student's going to be like this, he was just like, all jumping up, he was like, wacha, hiya, y equals 0. So thanks, Mr. Brand, for that, never forgotten that. And I swear, if you've forgotten that, bro, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to smack you in the forehead. Trust me. I'll do it. Do it. Everyone. I'll do it. Okay. So the solutions are y because they make up the equation. So for example, these solutions would be x minus 4 times x plus 6. So what we would start with is we would be like, okay, what makes the equation equal 0? So based on your natural thought, if you're not dumb, is 4, right? Because 4 minus 4 is 0, and 0 times anything is 0. So our first answer would be 4, right? Now, as for this one is going to be negative 6 because negative 6 plus 6 equals, you guessed it, 0. Okay, right? That makes sense. So x equals 4 and x equals 6. Those are our equations, if that made sense. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so essentially we're not moving on to the next one because this is the exact same equation, as you can see, if you can't tell by the numerous amount of ink that, I've used up. But yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm getting carried away. So y equals 0, right? So these are just the same equations, so don't get confused, right? F of x equals y equals 0, right? Be good. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so for this next one, right, it's going to take some explaining to do, but so you see, explain why factoring helps you solve this equation. So factoring, we're just going to see, so we're going to take 24 and 10, right? So what times 24 adds to 10, right? Now you'd be like, oh yeah, that's so easy, 6 and 4. So 6 times 4 equals 24, right? And then 6 plus 4 equals 10. Great. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to write down the equation including those. So 6x plus 4x in place of the 10, right? So we're factoring that out, plus 24 equals 0. And I apologize for my handwriting, if it's gotten any better, good job. If it's gotten any worse, I'm even more proud of you. Alright, so basically from this, we're going to factor it out even more. So we're going to take the x squared plus 6x, right? And we're just going to break it up into x times x plus 6, okay? And as for here, we're going to take the 4 out, right? And then do, right? So basically dividing, right? So then x plus 6, okay? So then we have the same thing right there. Of course, equals 0. Can't forget that. So from this point on, we're just going to bring it up here. And basically from this point, we're going to put these together, right? So x plus 6, and then times x plus 4, because these two right here, right, They're little buddies, and then these two, because they're twins, you know, they go together. So then we have that, right? Just that times, and then we bring that down. So equals 0. So the only way that x, right? What fills it out? Remember from what we did before? So negative 6 for this one. So x equals negative 6, and x equals negative 4. So boom, those are your solutions. On to numero tres. Alright, by the way, I know I completely butchered that pronunciation. I don't know how to speak any language other than gibberish. Okay, so for this one, right? Explain how to solve this equation. See, I'm gonna do that because I've totally been doing that the whole time and not completely butchering it and winging it, right? Because I have a script right here, you know, my script I can't show it to you because, you know, yeah. Alright, I'm not funny. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with getting rid of this exponent, right? So we're just gonna square root that, right? So the square root of 10 is like some crazy wacky number, so we can just leave it as 10, right? So 10 plus x 5. Now, you're going to find this really simple, okay? All we would do is just subtract 5, okay? So we get the square root of 10 minus 5, all right? Now, that's not it, though, okay? Because there's this lovely thing where we have to add the plus and minus, because you can either add, subtract to get the, what's it called? The thingy. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so x plus or minus the square root of 10 minus 5 is our answer. I know, right? Super easy. And look, we just got one more to go. Then you can finally move on with your life, okay? Listen, I got all the time in the world, but I care about you. I care about you, all right? You beautiful young man, right? Just one more. We're wasting so much time. We got this, bro. We got this. All right, man. This next part is going to be super fun, okay? So, basically, what we have here, it says use the quadratic formula, okay? We're not going to use complete root square, okay? We're just going to use the quadratic formula, okay? Now, listen. The quadratic formula has some straight fire, bro, all right? I'll sing that song for you. Okay. By the way, my vocal cords haven't been warmed up yet because you know me, I'm the greatest choir singer out there. All right, you ready? It goes like x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Alright, that was god-awful, but at least you'll remember it now. And if you don't remember it, you sing it to yourself till you remember it. Alright? Good job. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to take these out. So this is A, right? A, B, C. Okay? So, A equals, right? So, because you should know that whenever there's a variable right there, it just equals 1, right? So A equals 1, B equals 6, and C equals 10. Alright, so we have all of our things right here. So we're just going to plug it into the equation. So x equals negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 6. Well, the square root of 6. No, sorry, I cannot speak. So the square root of b squared. So the square root of, oh my, that 6 squared is 36. I could have just said that. Okay. Minus 4, open parentheses, 1, and then 10. So basically 40, right? So we can just like put that as 40. Okay. All over 2a, which is going to be 1. So pretty much just 2, right? So basically from this point, right? From this point of, I'll just make it a lot simpler for you. So basically, while I'm writing this out, you know, I would normally be a nice person and be like, oh yeah, so how's life been? But you know something? I don't really care. You know why? You know why I don't care? Because I know you're really smart, and you're really talented, and you're really handsome. Okay? So, you know, if life's not going great, too bad. Okay? You'll get through it. It's not the end of the world, alright? So stop sobbing. Alright? So, alright, sorry, I had some technical difficulties. Okay, so back from the start, right? So negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 40. Okay, so this is negative 4, right? So we're gonna have Sorry, I just love writing this so much. So the square root of negative 4 over 2, right? Okay. So this is where it gets tricky, right? Because this is saying, explain why this equation has no real solutions. So the reason why it has no real solutions is because there is no square root of negative 4, right? You can't multiply anything times anything to get the square root of negative 4. So essentially, you're just gonna leave it like this, okay? So that's really much it. So thanks for watching and enjoy your rest, alright? Get lots of sleep because I'm gonna do that sometime in my life when it is important. Alright? Anyway, yeah, just I don't really know how to say bye because I'm awkward. But yeah, bye.